Pyle, USMC. Starring Jim Neighbors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
I'm still cutting y'all. I got an idea. Joey, why don't you and Lester get down there in the front on your knees, and that way everybody else can squeeze in real tight. That's a lot better. You know what would be nice? If all of you put your arms around each other like Marine buddies, you know, gung-ho. Hey, that's it. Now I got everybody. Everybody ready? Say cheese. I got it.
Just a moment, Pyle. That picture isn't going to come out. You forgot the flash attachment.
Oh, it wouldn't come out anyways. I don't have any film in the camera.
We went through all that for nothing.
Well, I just bought this brand new $6 camera, and I was just trying it out to get used to all the features.
You certainly are a busy little bee, Pyle. Checking out your camera, buying guidebooks. Do you think you'll have much time for sightseeing in Washington?
Well, I sure hope so. However, that Navy relief show is real important, and I imagine I'll be rehearsing most of the time. I never have sung in front of that many people before.
As soon as we get to Washington, I'll lose him.
How can you lose him? Your assignment calls for you to get him to Washington and to stay with him for 3 weeks right up to that Navy show.
All right, I'll take care of him part of the time. But there's somebody else that needs taking care of in Washington.
Who's that?
Rose Pilchick.
Rose Pilchick? Who's that?
36, 24, 36. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but you still didn't tell me. Who is she?
She was Miss Armored Division of 1961, and she was still growing.
Oh, I get the picture.
She's a waitress now. She dropped out of nurse's school.
Well, how'd you get to meet her?
Well, when I was stationed back there a few years ago, she was going with this sergeant in chemical warfare. And I came along, I was like a breath of fresh air.
Well, how are you going to be able to get away from Pyle? After all, you're going to be rooming together.
Rooming together? Boyle, I am an NCO. He is a private. That means separate quarters. Once we get to town, he'll be out of my way and I'll be on my own.
See? You didn't want to go. You thought you'd be stuck with Pyle for 3 weeks.
Well, that's the way I operate. I turn every defeat into a victory. That's my horoscope. I'm Scorpio. I always land on my feet. Or should I say my claws?
Excuse me, Sergeant. Have you got a minute before you close up your sea bag?
Sure, Pyle. What is it?
Well, I was just wondering which guidebooks you're taking along.
Huh?
Well, if you take the one for Washington, then I'll take the one for Virginia. And that way we don't have to worry about using up good baggage space for two of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you take whichever one you like, and I'll borrow from you. Okay?
Excuse me, Sergeant. The Jeep is here for the airport.
All right, Pyle. Let's go.
I'll get your gear, Sarge.
Do you know where I think we ought to go to first? Mount Vernon. I've seen all the pictures. Hey, Gomer, I brought your bag.
Hey, go. Well, so long, Sarge. Have a ball. Give my best to Rose Pilchick.
Pilchick, Pilchick. All right, you guys, watch your feet. Come on, let's go.
Bye. Bye. Bye, bye, Pyle. And don't forget to say hey to the president for us. Bye.
Ain't that something, Sergeant? There is more marble per square mile here than any other city in the world except Rome, and twice as much as Paris and Seattle together.
Yeah, fascinating. Sergeant Fenson Carter checking in. I was told that Marine Corps billeting requisitioned a room for me.
Oh, yes, Sergeant, if you'll just sign here, please. That will be room 816.
Go all right, Sergeant. Do you know how many cross ties there are in that underground railway between the Senate and Congressional building? There are 3,200.
Yes, sir. And what can I do for you?
Private first class Gomer Pyle, sir. I wonder where Sergeant Carter went.
Here you are, sir. Here's your air conditioning control, your bathroom. Over here's your closet. And we hope you enjoy your stay in Washington.
Nice, very nice. Here you are, son.
Oh, boy.
Hey, what's all that? I already got all my gear.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Pyle?
Ain't that something, Sergeant? Looks like we're going to be sharing the same room.
Huh?
That's what the clerk downstairs said, room 816.
Reservations.
Actually, it's just as well. That way we don't have to run from room to room when we make out our sightseeing schedule.
Hello. This is Sergeant Carter in room 816. I think there's been a little mistake. You sent a private first-class pile to my room. This is Sergeant Vincent Carter. And the man you sent to my room was private first-class pile. And I assumed... I understand. Okay, Pyle, but I get the bunk nearest the window.
I don't blame you, Sergeant, seeing what a fine view you got from over there. Sergeant, if you look way over to the left here, you can just see the dome of the Capitol.
Good.
Can you believe it, Sergeant? That is the capital of our entire nation under that dome. 555 rooms to be exact. I wonder what's going on right this minute in them 555 rooms.
Look, Pyle, we can talk later after you take a nice, long, hot shower. I mean, now that we're going to be roomies, we got to work out a shower arrangement, right? So why don't you start scrubbing up first?
I will just as fast as I can, Sergeant.
Take your time, Pyle. Take your time. Hello. Would you give me National 83097? Thanks for the cab ride, Pyle. I'm sorry I can't go along with your sightseeing, but you know how it is, old friend of the family and all that. Maybe next time.
I sure hope so, Sergeant. It'd be a shame if you missed all them sights.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Pyle. You can keep me posted, okay? Whenever you see something that really grabs you, you can fill me in on it just in case I don't make it. How's that sound?
Fine, Sergeant, I'll do that. That's just what I'll do.
Right, Pyle. You just go along and have fun. Fun.
Started in the year 1883, the Washington Monument was finally completed after many delays in the year 1885. Yes, a question?
Excuse me, sir, but if I ain't mistaken, the building part was actually completed on December 6, 1884. Ain't that right?
Yes, that's quite right. But although completed in late 1884, it was formally dedicated in February of 1885, but not open to the public until 3 years later in the year 1888.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Thank you. Now, if I may continue, the monument is actually a giant obelisk, rising to the spectacular height of 555 feet.
And 5 1/8 inches. That is, if you want to be exact.
If you want to be, yeah.
I gotta tell you, Rosie, you ain't changed a bit. Not a bit. Except for maybe going back to brunette.
Yeah? Well, I found out brunettes have as much fun as anybody.
Yeah, don't we know, huh?
Uh-oh, the manager. I better get back to work. You want another beer or something, honey?
No, I'll wait till you get off duty.
Excuse me, are you Sergeant Carter?
Yeah?
Well, you want it on the phone. You can take it at the bar.
I wonder who that can be. Sergeant Carter here.
Hey, Sergeant, it's me, Gomer.
Pyle?
It's a good thing I remembered the name of the place I dropped you off at so I could reach you. I'm filling you in just like you told me to. Sergeant, it has been thrilling. Really thrilling.
Now, look, Pyle.
Are you sure you can't break away? The tour's getting more exciting by the minute. One of our stops is going to be the Department of Agriculture, and they've promised everybody seeds.
No, Pyle, as much as I'd like to. I gotta get off. I got 6 people breathing down my neck waiting to get on the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sergeant. I didn't realize. But no reason I can't fill you in later since you ain't gonna be able to get away.
Right, Pyle. You do that little thing.
And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Charles A. Lindbergh's famous Spirit of St. Louis. This is the actual plane in which Mr. Lindbergh made the first transatlantic flight on May 20th, 1927.
Actually, it's a 2-day flight. He took off from Roosevelt Field on May 20th and landed 34 hours later right outside Paris, France.
I was just getting to that.
One man in that little bitty plane, and he flew over 3,000 miles over the ocean all by himself. And he didn't have no comfortable reclining chairs or no piping hot food or anything like that. Fact is, he practically had a set on one of his gas tanks. It was so crowded in that little bitty cockpit. But Lindy, that's what everybody called him later on in affection. He had to be one of the bravest men that ever lived to try such an amazing feat as that.
You know, I thought about you a lot, Rose. Every time they play the beer barrel polka, I think of you.
Do you?
Excuse me, Sergeant. You're wanted on the phone again.
This better not be who I think it's gonna be. Hello?
Hey, Sergeant, I'm calling you back later like you said.
I said that?
That's right, Sergeant. And since the line wasn't busy, I knew nobody was waiting to use the phone, and I could fill you in on the Smithsonian Institution.
Now, look, Pyle.
Sergeant, you are missing so much. That's why I was thinking that maybe you could bring your old friend of the family along and meet me outside the White House. That's where I'm going next, the White House.
Pyle, I can't. I'm all tied up.
Well, okay, Sergeant. I just hope the president stops and shakes hands with people like he's always doing. That way I can say hey to him like all the fellers wanted me to back at the base. Do you want me to say hey for you, too?
Yeah, Pyle, you do that.
Who was it?
A wrong number. A wrong number since the day he was born.
Famous of all the rooms on the first floor of the White House. The Red Room is often used for after-dinner receptions. And you'll notice on the mantel shelf the 17th century French musical clock, presented by President Vincent Auriol of France in 1952. Now, if you'll just step this way, please.
Excuse me, but ain't you gonna tell him about that chair over there by the bookcase?
This one?
Uh-huh. I was talking to the balloon salesman outside when we was waiting in line, and he was telling me all about it. It seems that way back in 1903, Teddy Roosevelt's little nephew stuck some chewing gum up under it, and none of the cleaning people have ever noticed it, not even to this day.
Yes, well, needless to say, you'll hear many stories of that nature, but I assure you, they're only hearsay. Now, if you'll just step this way, please, we'll move on to the renowned East Room. Room, if you'll move right this way, please.
East Room, measuring 80 by 40 feet, is used mostly for public receptions. Sir, I know I shouldn't have walked in here like this.
For heaven's sakes, how did you get in here?
Well, you see, ma'am, I accidentally got separated from my tour, but by that time it was too late because I had my map turned upside down and I didn't know where I was. You see, what I thought was the east wing here was actually the west wing upside down. So you see... Ma'am? Ma'am? Yes, I must have interrupted her polishing. The President's office. Shazam! I gotta tell Sergeant Carter. I gotta tell him right this minute.
Hello? Sergeant Carter? Well, yes, he is. It's for you, Vince. Some guy.
For the love of... Hello?
Sergeant Carter? Guess where I am? Guess where I am?
Pyle. Pyle, how did you get this number?
From the manager at the cafe. I told him how important it was, and so he told me to try this number.
Important?
Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
Now, look, Pyle.
I am standing right in the middle of the office of the President of the United States. The President of the United States. I can't get over it. But it was so easy. I just opened the door and there it was. I would take some pictures, but they took my camera away from me. Would you like me to make a drawing? Golly, I didn't do nothing wrong, did I?
That's just what we want to find out, and fast.
Well, if you're worried about how I got into the president's office, it was just an accident. It's like I told that cleaning lady right after I interrupted her polishing.
All right. Now, let's take it back and start from the beginning, shall we? Like, who are you?
Well, first of all, my name is Pyle. Private First Class Gomer Pyle. And if you don't believe me, you can call the fella I was talking to on the phone upstairs. He's on orders with me, and he knows all about me.
Hey, you know, it's funny how nothing changes over the years. You knucklehead, you featherbrain! I told you not to call me here. I gave you orders, now I'm going to give you another order. Drop dead! How was I supposed to know it was the Secret Service?
Vince, what happened? Where are they taking you?
I don't know, I swear, honey, I don't know.
Now, where did you go after the Washington Monument?
The Smithsonian Institution.
That's right, I can vouch for that, sir.
Have you ever been to the Smithsonian Institution, Mr. Parker?
Not lately.
Well, you owe it to yourself to get over there. Why, they've got the plane that Charles A. Lindbergh flew over the Atlantic in.
Very interesting. Now, roughly, what time was that?
Well, I think May 20th, 1927.
Why don't you listen to the man, Pyle? That ain't what he meant.
Here, I heard. Just got positive identity. Sergeant Carter and PFC Pyle are both on temporary assignment to headquarters as indicated. Fingerprints, dog tags, and photo ID all check out. Immediate release approved.
Well, I guess it does it then.
You mean it's all over now? We can go?
That's right. Just watch the kind of doors you open from now on.
Well, I'm sorry if we caused you any inconvenience. But you know, in a situation like this, we can't take any chances.
Oh, sure. We all got our jobs to do.
Actually, it was no inconvenience. It was real nice talking to you. I don't think I ever met a Secret Service man before.
All right, let's go.
Right, Sergeant. And don't forget to go over to the Smithsonian Institution. You hear? Ain't that always the way, though? If you live in a city for years and years, you never do get to see your own sights.
Come on.
Sorry, Sergeant.
You know what you got, Pyle? Raw nerve. Thinking anyone can just walk in the White House and say hello to the president just like that.
You're right, Sergeant.
And then to drag me into it out of a clear blue sky that really was too much.
I know, Sergeant, and I'm sorry.
Pyle, when are you gonna learn? When are you gonna learn? You don't need a sergeant to come to Washington with you. You need a platoon, a whole battalion, just to follow you around every minute of the day and see that you don't foul up. Because everything that you do, Pyle, every single thing that you do always ends up in... Pyle, watch out!
Are you all right?
Oh, I think so. Just a little scared's all, maybe a few dirt marks here and there. It never touched me.
Well, you sure now?
Oh, I'm fine. Really, I am.
Well, okay, if you say so. He says he's all right, sir.
God. Hey, Mr. President. I saw him, Sergeant. I actually saw him. And I said, hey, Mr. President, just like the fellers wanted me to. Ain't that something, Sergeant? I said, hey to the president.
I thought we'd have dinner here in the hotel, in the embassy room. It's cozy, it's intimate, it's dark, and best of all, there won't be any phone calls to bug us.
Oh, it sounds swell, Vince.
Sergeant Carter, Sergeant Carter.
Don't look back, run.
Sergeant Carter, wait a minute. Am I glad I found you?
Yeah, well, we were just on our way to dinner, Pyle.
But, Sergeant, I have just had the most frustrating experience. I called the fellers back at Camp Henderson to tell them I said hey to the president for them, and they didn't believe me.
Yeah, that's frustration, all right. See you, Pyle.
Wait a minute. You saw the president? Is that what you just said? And you talked to him?
I was as close to him as I am to you.
No kidding. Did you hear that, Vince? He talked to the president. So what did he sound like anyway? Come on in and have dinner with us and tell us all about it.
Well, I still can't get over it myself. It all happened on account of a freak accident. See, I was standing there.
Gomer Pyle, USMC. Starring Jim Neighbors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
Sergeant Carter? Sergeant Carter?
Huh?
Sergeant, you should just see it. You should just see it.
Huh? Just see what?
The Capitol building. The sun just come out from behind the cloud, and the dome is glistening bright as anything.
That's nice.
Sergeant, you know, I was just thinking, you and I hadn't had a chance to do any sightseeing together since we've been here in Washington. And since I don't have to rehearse for the show today, I thought now might be a good time to do it.
Uh-huh.
The hotel clerk downstairs gave me these tourist brochures, and I thought it might be fun if we went over and had a look at the Library of Congress.
Library of Congress, huh?
Uh-huh. And then we could head on over to the Bureau of Engraving and watch them print up some money, then maybe to the U.S. Naval Observatory or the Botanical Gardens.
Sounds very interesting, Pyle. I hope you have a great time.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Well, ain't you coming?
No. I happen to have a very important date with a certain Miss Rose Pilchick. Remember? That little number at the All-American Cafe? She's got the day off.
Well, it's such a perfect day for sightseeing, Sergeant. I just hate for you to miss all these sights.
Rose is like one of the family, and I'd hate to disappoint her.
Well, if she's family, why don't you bring her along?
Well, this kind of family you don't take to the Bureau of Engraving. Now, if you don't mind, I gotta get going. I promised Rosie I'd pick her up at 11:30.
Well, okay, Sergeant. But later on, if you and Miss Pilchett get bored, we could arrange to meet at the Jefferson Memorial. That's a perfect place to meet and meditate. If you don't believe me, they got some pictures in here of it. Of course, there's lots of places we can meet. We can meet the FBI building. Oh, here it is. Here's the Jefferson Memorial, and there's just a whole slew of pictures. See, Sergeant? Sergeant Carter? Sergeant Carter? Sergeant?
Take a cab! A taxi! Taxi!
Sergeant, look. The Jefferson Memorial.
Yeah. A taxi!
Sergeant, even if we don't all get together, I still think that you and Miss Pilcheck should try to take in some of the sights. It is really thrilling and educational to be so close to the seat of our government. And it really makes you feel proud. It makes you feel like this really is the land where our fathers died and the land of the pilgrims.
Pyle, what are you talking about?
Washington, America, Sergeant. Don't you get a certain feeling just being here?
I'm getting a feeling I'm never gonna get a taxi.
Hey there, young fella. What you doing over here by yourself? You better get up off the street. Where are you folks and why aren't you in school today?
Taxi! Taxi! Boy, oh boy, it's murder to try to get a cab around here. What's this, Pyle? Where'd the kid come from?
I don't know, Sergeant. I just saw him over here looking kind of lost and started talking to him, but he won't answer me. Maybe you'd have more luck.
What's the matter, kid? Something wrong? Come on, say something.
僕は迷っています。家に帰りたいのだ。
That's Japanese. He says he's lost and he wants to go home.
Golly, how'd you know that?
I spent a lot of time in the Far East, Pyle. You know that. Don't you speak English, kid? Eigo hanashi masu ka?
いいえ、日本からです。僕の名前はタクモロトキと言います。
What'd he say, Sergeant? What'd he say?
He says he's from Japan. His name is Toki.
He sure is a long way from home. I wonder what he's doing way over here in Washington.
He's probably with one of them embassy families. Taishika kara desu ka?
Doggone how you talk that.
Taishikan kara desu ka? I guess he ain't. He must be with tourists or some people over on business. The best thing to do is turn him over to the police and let them take care of it.
The police? Well, it seems a shame to do a thing like that.
Well, what are we gonna do with him, Pyle? The police are set up to take care of lost kids.
I suppose you're right. It's probably the only thing to do. But hadn't you better explain to him first in Japanese so he'll know what we're doing?
Okay. Toki, keisatsu ni tanomuyo.
Sergeant, I don't think he likes the idea. Look how frightened he is.
Well, what do you want me to do? I'm late for a date.
But just look at him, a little boy all alone in a strange city. It can be a terrifying experience. I remember once when I was little, my mama took me shopping to Moss Backer's department store, and I got lost back there in the gardening department. There I was back there playing among the lawnmowers. And when I looked up, she was gone. And boy, I was really scared. Even to this day, when I see somebody out mowing the lawn, I get a sick feeling right in the pit of my stomach.
Well, what do you suggest we do with this kid? Adopt him?
No, Sergeant, but I think the friendly thing to do would be to get his address and take him home.
Okay, I'll get his address. But forget about taking him. I got no time. We'll put him in a cab. Tukoni, Sunday Ido Jushowa?
2130 Wakasa Boulevard に連れて行って。
He lives at 2130 MacArthur Boulevard.
Good going, Sergeant. That's what I call real good detective work.
Yeah, let's get him home. Now all we need is a taxi. Try and get one.
Taxi.
How did you do that, Pyle? How did you get a taxi so fast?
I don't know, Sergeant. I just grinned and waved.
Come on. Drivers, take the kid to 2130 MacArthur Boulevard. Here, this ought to cover it.
And drive real slow, 'cause he's probably not used to anything faster than rickshaws.
Hey, kid, what are you doing here? Get back in the cab. You're going home. I mean, uchi ni kairu no yo.
あれ、やだ。怖いよ。
What did he say, Sergeant? What?
Oh, great. He's afraid to go alone.
Well, maybe I better ride along with him and keep him company.
A good idea. Get going.
Sergeant, there's just one problem, though.
What?
Well, what if an emergency comes up?
An emergency?
Well, yeah, suppose he gets sick and tries to tell me I won't be able to understand. And what if his folks are not home? What'll I do with him? Sergeant, come with us, please.
どうぞ。ね。どうぞ。
All All right. We'll both take him. I'll have to call Rosie and tell her I'll be a little late. You and your lost kids. Wait in a taxi.
Vince, where are you? Anything wrong?
Well, I just called to tell you I'll be a little late, Rosie. I was on my way over when Pyle ran into this lost kid.
Lost kid?
Yeah, of all times. The kid's Japanese, and I'm the only one that can understand him, so I'm trapped into taking him home.
Vince, what a nice thing to do.
It is?
Yes. You taking the time and trouble to help a child in need. I think it's marvelous.
Marvelous, yeah. Well, that's just what I said to Pyle when we found the little fella. Here's a marvelous chance, I said, to do a good turn. I mean, what kind of person are you if you can't help out a poor, lost kid?
You know, Vince, this is a side of you I've never seen before. You know what you got? Compassion.
Yeah, well, kids and animals are my weakness. Probably be my undoing.
Oh, don't say that, honey. Why, it's a quality in a man I really admire.
It is? Well, look, Rosie, baby, I'll be right over just as soon as I dump the kid. I mean, take the child home.
Oh, well, take your time, honey. I'm not ready anyway. I'm just fixing my face.
Don't overdo it, baby. There's no use fooling with perfection.
Oh, man.
Look, Rosie, I gotta go now. The meter's running. I'll be there before you know it. What's going on? This is an amusement park.
This must be the place. Just look at the way his face is beaming. His house must be around here somewheres.
Yeah, he seems to recognize it all right. I don't get it. I just don't get it, Pyle. This don't seem to be a home unless they got a roller coaster in the living room.
Just don't understand it, Sergeant. Maybe you got the wrong address. Maybe you got your Japanese mixed up.
Look, Pyle, there's nothing wrong with my Japanese. Now, the only thing to do with this kid is to turn him over to the cops like I wanted to do in the first place.
Please, Sergeant, let's don't do that. Ask him one more time, and I'm sure he'll give you the right address.
Pyle!
Please, Sergeant, just one more time. It won't take long, and you'll be on your way.
All right, kid, we're gonna try it one more time, and this time get it right. Dukoni sunde iru jishiwa. Let's have it.
ちょっといっぺん乗せてよいっぺん
Did he tell you, Sergeant?
He wants to go on a ride first before he'll talk. How do you like that?
No, Sergeant. That might not be a bad idea. It might be just the thing.
Huh?
That's using child psychology.
What?
Well, lots of times the only way to get anything out of a child is by humoring him. And if we give him a ride, then he'll be nice and relaxed, and then he'll tell us where he lives.
Oh, no. No kid is gonna blackmail me. No, sir.
Sergeant, he might not tell us otherwise.
The answer is no, Pyle. N-O. There will be no rides. Is that clear? No rides.
What are you doing in an amusement park, Vince?
You see, honey, the little lost kid gave us the wrong address, and I'm waiting for him to come up with the right one. In the meantime, I'm using child psychology.
Huh?
Yeah, the best way to get things out of a child is to humor it.
Well, that's fine, Vince. But meantime, this is my only day off, and this apartment is stifling. And I can't keep taking showers, so you'd better hurry.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else is good? You take cold washcloths and you wrap them around your wrist. Hello? All right, Pyle, is the kid all humored up now? Is he ready to talk? Because time is running out on me and my date, so this better be it.
I think he's nice and relaxed now, Sergeant. He'll probably tell you, so ask him.
All right, kid. Now, Dukone Sunde-ru. Come on, I'm asking you. Dukone Sunde-ru. Toki, Dukone Sunde-ru. Jushuba.
僕忘れた
Did you hear that, Pyle? Did you hear the latest? He don't remember. Well, what do we do now? Don't just stand there with your mouth open. What do we do now? He don't remember. He says he don't remember.
Excuse us, Toki.
Well, what's the excuses? He don't understand you.
Sergeant, a terrible thought just occurred to me. You know what I think he's got? I think the poor little feller's got amnesia.
Amnesia?
Yeah, that's probably the reason he can't remember his right address. I remember seeing this movie once about an amnesia victim called Make Way for Mr. Nobody. It was this concert violinist, and he was in this accident, and he woke up in the hospital and couldn't remember who he was. Well, he fell in love with his nurse, and they was about to get married. He didn't realize that he already had a wife and 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl.
Well, what is all this? What does it have to do with a kid?
Don't you see, Sergeant? It could be like the fella in the movie.
All right, pile. Let's just say you're right. Supposing the kid does have amnesia, that's all the more reason to turn him over to the authorities and let them handle him.
Oh, no, Sergeant, that might make it worse. At least he knows who we are. But the authorities, they'd be complete strangers to him. He might not ever talk to them.
So what do you suggest?
Well, we could give him a few more rides. Little by little, as he gets to know us better, he'll relax and start remembering. Okay, Sergeant?
Okay.
Boy, it's a lucky thing you speak Japanese.
Yeah. Bakiru.
What does that mean?
Guess.
Look at the little feller, Sergeant, having the time of his life. You'd never know to look at him that he's got amnesia.
Well, maybe now he don't. You having a good time? Ika? You enjoying yourself? No more shiroi? Good. Koni Sundero.
さあ、15とおはようドライブ、サウスウエストに行こう。
It worked. Did you hear that, Pyle? He told me where he lived. He lives at 15th and Ohio Drive, Southwest. How about that?
I knew it, Sergeant. I knew it. It was your patience and understanding and willingness to take the time. Sergeant, you're one of the most patient men.
Come on, let's go. Swan boat rides? This is a boat rental place. He did it to us again.
Sergeant, you know what I think? I think this poor little feller's done got himself a relapse.
The boat basin? What are you doing way out over there?
Well, it's a long story, honey. But I came up with a fantastic diagnosis. The kid's got himself a case of amnesia.
Amnesia? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's a medical term for loss of memory.
I know what it means, Vince. But what's that got to do with you being out there with the boats?
Well, I know it sounds weird, but it's all part of the therapy. In fact, I got Pyle out on the boat right now trying to bring the kid around.
When are you going to bring yourself around, Vince? We were supposed to have lunch together, and here it is almost 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we make it an early dinner? You name the restaurant. Champagne, candlelight, dancing to the jukebox, just the 2 of us. And then after that, hello? Well, okay, did the kid get his ride?
No, Sergeant, we waited on you.
Huh?
Toki insisted he won't do anything without you.
Pyle, I don't have time for a boat ride.
どうぞ、一緒に。どうぞ。
Don't tell me what he said, Sergeant, or I'll think I'll cry. My, that was really relaxing. I don't think Toki's ever been so relaxed. Won't you ask him now, Sergeant?
Don't worry, I will. Dukane Sunderu.
さあ、イーストカピトルと22ノースイーストだ。
He told you, didn't he, Sergeant?
Take it easy, Pyle. How do we know this is really the right address?
Well, Sergeant, from all I've ever heard about amnesia victims, they start remembering things gradually, like that fella in the movie.
All I know is this kid has given us 2 bum steers already.
But don't you see, Sergeant? He could remember all kinds of addresses before he gets the right one. But I'm sure this is it, Sergeant. I just know it is.
So this is it, huh, Pyle? East Capitol and 22nd Northeast, also known as D.C. Stadium, the home of the Washington Senate.
Just don't understand, Sergeant.
Well, I do. This whole thing is nothing but a great big put-on, and he's an out-and-out little phony.
Phony?
Look at the evidence. His first address was an amusement park. Then he took us for a boat ride, and we wind up here at the ballpark. Doesn't that look a little suspicious, Pyle, even to you?
Well, I'll admit it does, Sergeant, but I'm sure there's an explanation.
I suppose we should take him in there, and while he's relaxing, watching the ball game, he'll come up with the right address.
Say, that might just work. Give him one more chance. That's a great idea, Sergeant.
Yeah, well, you take him in because I'm leaving. I have had it. My babysitting job is over.
But, Sergeant...
Goodbye, Pyle. Goodbye and good luck. Enjoy the ball game. Have a good time. I'll see you around. And Toki, sayonara.
Mo iku no, Sergeant-san?
That's right, Toki. I'm leaving.
To-chan, sayonara.
What did he say, Sergeant?
Nothing.
He said something nice. What did he say?
Nothing. He said goodbye, Daddy.
Oh, ain't that nice. Well, goodbye, Sergeant, and thank you for everything, and don't worry about us. We'll do the very best we can.
Yeah. Well, so long. Come on. Rosie, listen, this is it, I swear. The kid's last chance. If he don't come up with the right address, I'm through. I'm washing my hands of the whole thing.
Really, Vince?
Oh, absolutely, honey. For the rest of the day, I'll be yours.
Oh, mine. Oh, that's wonderful, Vince. I can hardly wait.
Oh, honey, then you really understand?
Of course I understand, Vince. I understand that I spent $10 to have my hair done and another $5 for a facial, which I never get. And here I am standing with a whole new head for nothing.
Rosie?
And I'll tell you something else. Nobody else ever did this to me before. Make a date with me and stand me up. I spent all day getting ready and went out and bought a brand new dress. Just who do you think you are, you talk?
Hey, Sergeant, look, the bases are loaded with the tying run on third.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I don't know who's up next, but he sure is in a position of responsibility.
Ow! He's safe by a mile! What's the matter, You blind?
Hey, that Pyle, the kid speaks English.
Oh, all right.
All right, come on. All right, you little phony. Now let's have it. We want the whole story and fast. And don't give us that Japanese routine. You know how to speak English. All right, kid, where do you live? The truth. Let's have it.
Okay, I'll tell the truth. I live at the Japanese embassy.
Did you hear that, Pyle? Did you hear that? When I asked him before, he denied he lived there.
That wasn't a very honest thing to do, Toki. Why didn't you tell us the truth?
I was afraid if I told you, you'd take me there.
Huh?
Well, if that's your home, why wouldn't you want to go there?
Well, I stay at the embassy all the time. I've been in Washington many months and never go any place but school. I never see anything.
Oh, you're breaking my heart. If you ask me, you're nothing but a spoiled, rotten little kid and a con artist. And if I was your father, I'd bend you over my knee and whale the tar out of you.
I'm sorry and I apologize. But you see, I thought the only way to have fun was to make American friends. And you're sure good friends, because I think today was the nicest day I ever had in my whole life. Thank you very much, Sergeant, and thank you, Gomer.
You know something? I think it was a nice day, too.
Come on, Sergeant. Now I'll really show you where I live.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the rush? The game ain't over yet.
But don't you want to take me home?
I'll take you home when I'm good and ready. Now, come on. See the rest of the game. Now, remember, we're just going to drop him off and beat it. I called up and told him we were bringing him home, and that's it.
Okay, Sergeant, but what's the hurry?
Well, I've been thinking, maybe if I gave Rose another call, she may have cooled down by now, and I can talk her into going out with me tonight.
That's a good idea, Sergeant. When she hears the whole story, I'm sure she'll forgive you, and I'll back you up all the way.
Talkie. This is my sister.
Your sister?
Miyoshi, these are my friends, Gomer Pyle and Sergeant Carter.
Pleased to meet you, ma'am.
Hey, yes, we certainly are glad to make your acquaintance.
Thank you, Sergeant. You have been kind to my brother, and my family is very grateful.
Oh, don't even bother to mention it. I mean, we had all the fun, and I don't know when I've seen a nicer boy.
Please come in. Won't you join us for tea?
Well...
No, thank you, ma'am. Sergeant Carter's got some real important social business to take care of.
Well...
He's trying to patch things up with his girlfriend, Rose Pilchick. They had this little misunderstanding.
Oh, I see.
Well, it's nothing really urgent, and
Oh, Sergeant, you've given us too much of your time already.
But
Perhaps some other time. Thank you again. Come, Twookie.
Pyle, do you know what you did? She was about to invite me in for tea.
Yeah, I know, Sergeant. Wasn't we lucky to get out of it? You could have been stuck in there for hours.
Pyle? Never mind. Don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me. Back your rope.
Gomer Pyle, USMC. Starring Jim Neighbors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
Did you enjoy your breakfast, sir?
Yes, ma'am, and it was real nice of you to ask. Real nice. Everything was fine, just fine.
Oh, miss.
Yes?
I believe my hotcakes are ready. I would like them before rigor mortis sets in. No, thank you.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
Oh, no, thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Pyle.
Oh, hey, Sergeant Carter. See, you found my note. I was having breakfast in here.
Yeah, but you didn't have to pen it to my pajamas.
I wanted to be sure that you found it and you were sleeping just like a little baby.
Just a second, Pyle. Excuse me, friend. Would you mind moving over? I'm with him. There's an empty seat right over there. We got some important business to talk over.
Since you have my place, you might as well have my breakfast.
Golly, Sergeant. That poor feller, maybe I better go after him and tell him he can have my seat.
Ah, just an excitable civilian. They haven't learned to stand around the way we have. Anyway, we got more important things to worry about. Now, listen, Pyle. Tonight is it. This Navy relief show is the payoff for our whole Washington trip. You gotta be great.
Well, I'll do my best, Sergeant.
Okay. And one more thing. I don't want you to get nervous or excited, but do you know who's coming down to produce the show? And he's gonna be at rehearsals this morning? Dan Merrill.
Well, that don't make me the least bit nervous.
You don't?
No, sir, I never heard of him.
Dan Merrill is the big Broadway producer. He's got more hits than I got stripes. And temperamental? He's fired actors just for looking at him the wrong way.
Oh, all right.
Hello, room service. I'd like to order breakfast in my room. That's right, 415. Mr. Dan Merrill.
Why don't we come on back to the room, Sergeant? Shouldn't we be getting on over to Constitution Hall?
We got a little time, Pyle, so first we'll have a private rehearsal.
Private rehearsal? What for?
Pyle, the only reason they sent me to Washington with you was to make sure you do all right. Now, if you look good in front of Merrill, I'll look good. If you look bad, I look bad. And I got news for you, Pyle. You ain't gonna make me look bad.
I'd never do that, Sergeant.
Okay. Now, let's hear how you do your song. Take it from the top.
From the top?
Pyle, that's showbiz talk. It means start it from the beginning.
Well, all right, Sergeant. But I'm still a little worried about that song. Do you think Only a Rose is all right for an audience of Navy and Marine men?
They love it. It was my father's favorite song, and he was a Marine. Marines are sentimental. Somebody didn't like it, he'd punch him in the mouth.
I guess you know best, Sergeant.
Sure. Now, let's see how you do the song from the beginning.
From the top.
Yeah, from the top. Look, you go in there and come out when I give you an introduction. I want to check what kind of entrance you make.
All right.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and pleasure to bring you the pride of the Marines, Sergeant Carter's own personal protege, Gomer Pyle.
The door's stuck, Sergeant.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gomer Pyle. Hold it! What kind of entrance is that? You walk like a man who's been beamed by a fastball. Pyle, when you come in, you gotta have poise, assurance.
Well, I'm sorry, Sergeant, but that's all the assurance I got. I'll do it again.
No, you just get stuck. Go ahead and sing.
Only a rose I give you, only a song dying away, only a smile to keep in memory.
Hold it. Pyle, words have meanings. When you sing only a smile to keep in memory, you give them a smile, a tender smile, like this.
That's kind of hard to do when you're singing, Sergeant.
We don't have much time. You watch me, and I'll run through the whole thing from the beginning. The top. Give me an introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Carter.
You're right, Pyle, it does stink. Well, don't just stand there, open it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Carter.
You see? You come in with confidence, and you look at the audience like you own them. Then, when there's complete silence, you turn and give a little nod to the piano player. And then, only a rose I give you, only a song dying away, only a smile to keep in memory. You think you can do that, Pyle? The entrance, the gestures, you think you can sing it that way for Merrill?
I don't think anybody in the world can sing it like that, Sergeant. But I'll try. I'll sure try.
Holy smoke, I didn't know it was so late. Come on, let's get over to Constitution Hall. We don't want to be late for that rehearsal. Can't this elevator go any faster? We're going to be late.
Well, I hope that don't make a bad impression on Mr. Merrill.
Well, don't worry about him. I'll take care of him. This ain't the lobby. What are we stopping here for?
Somebody must have pressed the button on this floor.
Well, I don't see anybody. Let's get moving.
But, Sergeant?
Push the lobby button.
Right, Sergeant.
Hold the doors, please, will you? Hold it. Wait, folks.
We're sorry, mister.
There's a guy who's going to be coming down looking for this. Give it to him, will you?
I'm sorry, sir, but this cab's reserved.
Sure, they're always reserved. Buddy, we're in a big hurry. We got an important rehearsal. Now, come on, get in.
Here. That's my cab.
Come in yet?
No, not yet.
What a relief. We're in the clear, Pyle. No sweat, no trouble.
What's the lucky thing we got that taxi?
What luck? I grabbed it, didn't I? You'd probably still be stuck at the hotel if it wasn't for me.
You're right, Sergeant.
Yes, sir? I'm Dan Merrill. Oh, good morning, Mr. Merrill. I have some telephone message for you, sir.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Fellas, that's Mr. Merrill over there.
Come on. Let's introduce ourselves.
But, Sergeant?
Come on. Pyle, it's another thing you gotta learn about show business. You can't be bashful. You can't hang back. You gotta make friends right off. Mr. Merrill?
Oh, it's you two. Laurel and Hardy. Well, what are you doing here? Planning to booby-trap the theater?
This is Gomer Pyle. He's going to sing on the show, and I'm Sergeant Carter. I'm sort of his personal manager.
We're real sorry about what happened at the hotel, Mr. Merrill. We didn't mean any harm.
That's right. It was all a bunch of mistakes. Like they say, forgive and forget.
Yeah. If you'll excuse me, we have a rehearsal.
That's right. The show must go on.
Did you just make that up?
Did you, Sergeant?
Well, now, who's next? Private First Class Gomer Pyle.
Only a rose I give you, only a song dying away, only a smile to keep in memory until we meet another day.
Just a moment, please. Pyle, who taught you that entrance and those gestures?
Sergeant Carter, sir. He taught me everything.
Look, you have a fine voice. Just try to sing naturally and forget about those gestures.
But, sir...
And another thing, that song isn't right for this kind of a show.
But that's my...
I want something a little inspirational for your particular part. Do you happen to know Impossible Dream?
No, sir, but I've heard it before. I just never have sung it.
Then you'll learn it.
Just a minute. I don't like that song half as much as Only a Rose.
Oh? Well, I do. Shall we continue?
Just a minute, Mr. Merrill. I got him on this show. I discovered him. I helped him. I know you're in charge of the show, but I'm in charge of him, and I say he sings Only a Rose.
All right. We don't have any time to argue. The next act, please.
Sergeant, I'm afraid you got Mr. Merrill kind of angry.
Don't worry. He'll cool off. Them temperamental types are all alike. You gotta meet them head on to keep them from pushing you around. And I won the argument, didn't I? I guess I showed him it means something to be a sergeant in the Marines.
If you give Mr. Merrill any more trouble, you won't be a sergeant in the Marines much longer.
Yes, sir.
You know, you almost lost Mr. Merrill for us. It was all I could do to persuade him to stay on. Sergeant, have you any idea how important this show is to us?
I think I do, sir.
I think you don't. It won't be just Marine and Navy men in that audience. It's usually attended by a good number of congressmen and senators, sometimes even the vice president. In fact, there's a chance that the president himself may be in the audience. Therefore, you are going to do whatever Mr. Merrill tells you to do, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And you will make sure that Private Pyle does, too. In fact, I'm going to hold you personally responsible for Pyle's performance.
Oh, boy. Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew what, Sergeant? You never did tell me what happened in Colonel Richardson's office.
Nothing happened, Pyle. Nothing at all.
I got the feeling that it was something.
Okay, but it's nothing for you to get nervous about. It's not your neck that's sticking out. It's mine.
Well, how come?
Because if you don't sing good tonight, I lose my stripes. That's how come. I thought this was a show just for the Marines and the Navy.
Well, ain't it?
No, it ain't. Who knew there were going to be all kinds of important people in the audience?
What kind of all kinds of important people?
Congressmen, senators.
Congressmen? Senators?
You'd think they would have told me about it ahead of time. Maybe even the vice president will be there.
The vice president?
Probably even the president himself.
The president himself?
That's right, the president of the United States.
He's coming to the show tonight. Is that what you're saying? He's coming to hear me sing.
Pyle, your voice, what happened to it?
I don't know.
Pyle, don't tell me you're losing your voice. Say something. Keep talking.
What do you want me to say?
Boy, I told you not to get nervous.
Sorry, Sergeant, I couldn't help it. But when you told me congressmen and senators and the vice president and the president are all coming to the show, it made me so nervous, I guess.
Oh, come on. You can get on a few more spoonfuls. Nothing better than hot chicken soup and melted honey for a throat. Well, feel any improvement?
I just feel full.
Is that camphor towel around your neck hot enough?
Yes, sir.
Well, you can talk a little. Can't you sing a little?
Yes, sir, but not as loud as I can talk.
Open your mouth. Any change now?
Yes.
There is?
I think it's worse.
Look, Pyle, I got a great idea. Pretend the show is over. We're not going in, we're going out. But this way. You see, you're on your way home. There's no more show to worry about.
But, Sergeant, it ain't no use.
Okay, I give up. It's almost showtime. What'd I tell Merrill?
Tell him the truth. Tell him it was all my fault. That
Where you going?
I don't know. I guess I just walk around.
But how could you wait until 10 minutes before curtain time to tell me he's lost his voice?
Well, I was hoping he'd get it back. The kid just choked up, and I thought he'd get over it.
What did you do to him this time?
Nothing. I was just trying to encourage the boy.
Well, you encouraged him right out of his voice.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, sir. Can't you get somebody else to fill in for him?
Get someone else now. Do you realize it's almost curtain time, man?
Something wrong, Marine?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you better get to bed, boy. Sounds like you got a bad cold.
It ain't a cold.
Oh? Then what is it?
It's a long story.
Well, I got lots of time. What's the matter?
Well, it was this big Navy relief show tonight. And that's the whole story. I got so scared I lost my voice and I can't sing a note.
You know something, friend? When I sat down here, it was because I felt sorry for you. But I'm not anymore. I'm really not. The ones I feel sorry for are the people who are counting on you. Sergeant Carter, the audience. They're the ones you're letting down.
But I can't help it. I'm frightened.
Frightened?
Right now, it's the biggest thing in my life.
Well, maybe so, but I can't sympathize with you too much. Now, you take him there. He had a lot more to worry about than facing an audience. He had great decisions to make, and he must have been frightened and unsure of himself many a time. But he didn't let it stop him from doing what he had to do.
But he was a great man. And I'm no hero.
You know what I figure a hero is? It's a man doing the job he has to do the best he knows how. You think about that.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Equal? 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 Hey! What? Shazam!
Sergeant Carter, I got my voice back. I can sing.
Your voice is back. Are you sure, pal? Are you sure?
Well, of course, you heard what I just said.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you're supposed to go on. Come on. Excuse me, please.
Now, ladies and
Excuse me.
gentlemen,
Excuse me.
if you'll look at your programs, you'll see that our next performer is Marine Private First Class Gomer Pyle. However, and so, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present Marine Private First Class Gomer Pyle.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. The unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star. No matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star, to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unmeetable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to run where the brave dare not go, though the road be forever too high, to try, though your wayward and weary, to reach the unreachable star. The unreachable star, though you know it's impossibly high, to live with your heart striving upward, to reach the unreachable star.
How about that? How about it?
How about what?
He was there after all.
Who was there?
The president himself. It says right here that he and the first lady attended the show.
Well, how about that?
Doesn't make you nervous now?
No, it don't make me nervous a bit.
Hello. No, ma'am, but this is his manager, Sergeant Carter. Who's coming up to congratulate us personally? The Commandant of the Marine Corps.
What's the matter, Sergeant? What's the matter?
The Commandant is coming in. The whole Marine Corps is coming up here to congratulate us. Can you believe it?
Gomer, I still just can't get that picture out of my mind. It was one of the most haunting love stories I think I ever saw.
It sure was. Boy, that Sandra D can really bring tears to your eyes.
I want to thank you again.
For what?
Well, for taking me to see it. I know that actually you prefer monster pictures and you were just going along to make me happy.
Oh, no, Luann. Fact is, a lot of the monster pictures have romance in them. You take King Kong, that had a lot of love in it.
It did?
Yeah, don't you remember when King Kong was terrorizing all of New York City? He had this real tender feeling for Fay Ray. Why, when he'd hold her up in his hand, you could just see the gentle look in his eye.
That's right. She was the only one that he liked.
It was ill-fated, though. I mean, 100-foot gorilla and a 5-foot girl. It never would have worked out. Oh, looks like he got something here.
My goodness, it's a telegram. Oh, Gomer, the most wonderful news.
What is it?
Well, it's from my daddy. He's coming to visit me. Why, he'll be here tomorrow.
Well, that is a nice surprise, Luann.
It's been such a long time since I've seen him. I can't believe it. He's actually going to be here. Oh, Gomer, you've just got to come to dinner.
Well, thank you, Luann. I really am looking forward to meeting him. Listen, I better go. You probably got a million things to do.
That's right. He didn't give me much time, did he? Oh, Gomer, thank you for such a lovely evening.
Thank you. Golly. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Luann. Good night.
Gomer?
Yeah?
Whatever you do, don't let Daddy frighten you.
Frighten me?
He's a very strong-willed person and set in his ways, and if he doesn't like something, he just roars like a lion. But inside, he's really just as gentle as a little lamb.
Well, if he's your daddy, I'm sure he is.
Oh, he's gonna like you, Gomer. I just know he is.
Well, I sure hope so. Well, good night, Luann. See you tomorrow.
Baby! Come here to Daddy, give me some sugar.
You just look wonderful. I was so surprised when I got that telegram yesterday.
Well, I said to myself, it's about time I saw my little girl, so I took a couple of days off. Business can get along without me.
Oh, Daddy, I'm so glad you did. It's been too long.
Well, come here. Let me look at you.
Oh, Daddy.
Just what I thought. You are wasting away.
Wasting away.
Wasting away to skin and bones. What's the matter? What have you been doing to yourself? Don't you eat anything anymore?
Oh, Daddy, I may have lost a pound or two since I left home, but that's all. Well, you know I never was a heavy one to begin with.
Well, you look much better back home. There you had a bloom to you. Now look at you. You're all skinny and pale. Oh, I know you should have never come to the city. It's the air pollution.
I feel fine, Daddy. Honest, I do.
Oh, how can you live in a city with this air pollution? Now, back home in Turtle Creek, the air's fresh and clean and unpolluted.
I know, Daddy, but, well, how do you like my apartment?
Well, it's, okay, I guess. Sure had a much better room back home. There you had 3 big wide windows and a view that...
Daddy.
Okay, I'll shut my big mouth.
Well, come on. Let's not talk about me. I want to hear all about you. By the way, you just look marvelous.
Well, I've been keeping in shape playing touch football with, Monroe.
Oh.
He's still quite a fullback. Solid as he ever was. And he's a fine boy. A fine boy.
I know. Monroe always was very nice.
Then why in the name of heaven did you leave him standing at the altar? The star of the Carolina Aggies football team.
Daddy?
Right now, you could have been Mrs. Monroe Eford, living in a fine house high on a hill instead of in a dingy room in a city that's filled with air pollution.
Daddy, I didn't marry Monroe for a simple reason. I didn't love him.
Love? Love is just a matter of getting used to a person.
Well, that's not the kind of love I'm looking for.
Oh. This Gomer Pyle you've been writing home about? Is that the kind of love you're looking for?
So far, he's the only man that interests me, and I don't mind being considered his steady. Daddy, you're going to meet him in a little while. He's coming to have dinner with us. And I just know you're going to be crazy about him. Why, he's the nicest person I've ever known. Here's a picture of him. Ain't he handsome?
He's kind of weaselly. I think the air pollution got to him, too.
That's Gomer. Daddy, please, promise you'll be nice.
Hey, Luann.
Well, hi, Gomer. goodness, what you got there?
These are for you.
Oh, thank you. They're beautiful. Come on in. I want you to meet my daddy. Daddy, this is Gomer. Gomer, this is my daddy.
It's an honor to meet you, sir. Luann's told me a lot about you.
Aren't these lovely, Daddy? Well, I could have sworn they were real. Where'd you buy them, Gomer?
Oh, I didn't buy them. I made them myself.
You made them?
You make flowers?
Well, it was really my first try all by myself. The only other time was when Miss Freiberger taught me. That was during recess of my rug hooking class.
Rug hooking class?
Yes, sir. I used to go on Sunday afternoons. There's nothing like it for relaxing and forgetting the cares of the day. Not to mention the pretty rugs you end up with.
Well, you certainly are the handy one, Gomer. These are just precious. Why don't you two go ahead and get acquainted while I go find a vase for these?
Well, how was your trip, Mr. Povey?
Fine.
Smooth flight, was it?
Yeah, smooth.
How's everything back in North Carolina?
Fine. You hook rugs?
I haven't really made any since I quit going to class, but if somebody comes up to me and says, Gomer Pyle, hook me a rug, I'll know how.
These are just beautiful, Gomer. Just the right touch. I took the liberty of fixing you gentlemen a drink. Bourbon with just a splash of ranch water, if I remember correctly.
You remember correctly.
And a root beer for you.
Well, golly, thank you kindly, Luann.
Root beer?
Yes, sir. Sometimes, though, I like to drink something harder. You know what my favorite hard drink is? Quinine water with a lime. Boy, that really has a kick to it. Well, cheers.
What did you do back home in Mayberry, Pyle?
I worked at a filling station.
Oh, your own gas station, was it?
Oh, no, sir, it was Wally's. That was the name of it, Wally's Gas Station. I was just one of the help.
Oh.
It was a real fine station. Imagine I'll go back to work there after I finish my hitch.
Back to the same job you had? Well, don't you want to improve yourself, move up in the world, become an executive?
Well, I'm afraid I'm not the executive type. And I'm ashamed to say I hadn't had that much education. I never did go to college.
Well, didn't you ever have any ambition to go? Maybe to play on a team? Win a letter?
Well, not everyone can go to college, Daddy, and not everyone can win a letter. Besides, working in a gas station is a very respectable occupation. If it weren't for our gas station attendants, America's cars couldn't run.
Boy, you sure have a way with words, Luann. You know that.
I'll start clearing the table now and get us some more coffee.
Well, I'll help you.
Oh, no, Gomer, you don't have to.
I'm used to it. I do KP all the time.
Well, Daddy, will you excuse us for a few minutes?
Sure. Take your time. Operator, I want to place a person-to-person call to Turtle Creek, North Carolina. The number there is KL47451. And I want to speak to Mr. Monroe Eford. Yeah, the number here is 555-3427. And hurry, please, operator. Yeah. Monroe? Yeah, this is your old touch football partner. Yeah, I'm in her place right now. Now, listen, I haven't got much time to talk. I just want to ask you one question. You still really care for my girl? Good. Then I'll tell you what you do. You grab the first plane out of there and you get here as fast as you can. To rope her and take her back, that's why. Because, man, you ain't got no competition at all. None at all. I just met this here Gomer Pyle, and he's nothing but a mouse. All you got to do is flick him aside. Listen, I can't talk anymore. You just get out here as quick as you can. You hear?
Oh, is everything all right, Daddy?
Oh, everything's fine. Just fine.
Could you get that, Daddy? It's Gomer. I'll be out in a minute.
All right.
Hi, J.R.
Come on in here. It's good. Oh, shh. Luann's just finished dressing. That boyfriend of hers will be here in just a minute.
What's he coming for?
Because I invited him. Oh, don't you see? When Luann has a chance to compare the two of you side by side, she'll come to her senses and realize what she threw away.
Yeah. Hey, you're shrewd, J.R. Shrewd.
evening, Gomer. I'm sorry, I'm... Monroe!
Hi, Luann. Ain't this a surprise, gal? You could have knocked me over with a feather when I saw him standing at the door.
Well, it most certainly is a surprise, to say the least. What are you doing way out here in California all of a sudden?
Well, I got this call from, to come to this feed convention. That's what I come to town for, a big feed convention. And naturally, I couldn't pass through without stopping off to say hello. So, hello, Luann. Sure nice to see you again.
Ain't this something, honey? Monroe and I being in town at the same time.
Oh, these are for you.
That's Gomer.
Hey, Luann.
Hey, Gomer, come on in.
Oh, I didn't know you already had flowers.
Well, we have unexpected company.
Oh.
This is Monroe Eford. He just happened to drop in all the way from Turtle Creek.
Well, hey, Monroe Eford, the one you almost...
That's right.
I do.
You gonna stay for dinner, aren't you, boy?
Well, now, sir, if I'm not intruding,
Oh, nonsense. I insist. Now, don't we, Luann?
Of course. I guess I better put these in some water.
Oh, well, might as well take mine, too.
Yeah, you can feed those to those.
Yeah, the folks back home sure miss you, Luann. Well, every time I walk into the country club, they always ask me if I've heard from you.
Well, that's very sweet, I'm sure.
If you were back home right now, you'd be the belle of the ball. Monroe here could really show you a time. He's very popular at the country clubs. Got the run of the whole place. Did you ever belong to a country club back home, Pyle?
No, sir. But whenever I used to go over to Mount Pilot, I used to always drop by the YMCA. They had everything there. Ping pong and shuffleboard and hot showers, and every other Friday night they used to show nature slides.
Well, if nobody wants any more dessert or coffee, shall we all retire to the living room?
It's a good idea, girl. I could do it with a little stretching.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know about you. I'm so full, I feel like a stuffed turkey.
Hey, you need a workout. Gee, oh!
By the way, Pyle, did you ever have the chance to see Monroe when he was All-American with the Carolina Aggies?
No, sir, I'm sorry to say I didn't.
Well, you really missed a treat. He was the best fullback they ever had. Ain't that right, boy?
Yeah, I guess it was.
Boy, when they were down on the 5-yard line and they needed a touchdown, Monroe was the player they called for. Ha! He! Ha! Touchdown! Oh, man, he was really something. He made mincemeat out of that defensive line.
Daddy, I don't really think that Gomer's very interested in Monroe's football playing.
Oh, yeah, Luann. It's a real honor to meet an All-American in person.
Well, besides being All-American, he was a star weightlifter, too. Strong as a bull, that boy. Hey, Monroe, show him how easy it is for you to lift that chair without even straining yourself. Go ahead.
Daddy?
They don't want to see that.
Oh, go ahead. Go on.
Well, all right.
Oh, will you look at that? How he handles it, light as a feather. Oh, man, you are something else. Did you ever go in for athletics, son?
No, sir, not too much.
Well, not everybody's cut out for sports. They can be good at other things. You know what Pyle is good at? He makes beautiful paper flowers.
Daddy, can you give me a hand in the kitchen, please?
I'll help you, Luann.
I want Daddy to. All right, now, Daddy, you just cut that out.
What in the world are you talking
You
about?
know perfectly well what I'm talking about. The way you've been treating Gomer all evening. Making all those unfair comparisons. Oh, Monroe is so all-fired wonderful, and Gomer's just a nobody.
Well, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but that's about the size of it. All you got to do is take a look at them side by side, and you can see for yourself.
All I can see is a lot of meddling. Now, you called Monroe and told him to come out here, didn't you?
Whatever gave you that idea?
Come on, Daddy. I'm not a child any longer. I know there's no feed convention.
Well, doggone it, Luann. I was only trying to do it for your own good. Is it what you want to be stuck with the rest of your life in a jellyfish?
And I think that is my decision to make. Well, Gomer may not be a big football star and drive a fancy car, and he may not belong to the country club, but he is the one I want.
He may be the one you want, but I'm not so sure that you're the one he wants.
What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't seem to me he's too upset about Monroe being here. Seems to me if a fellow really cared for a gal, he wouldn't stand there and take it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go back to our company.
Well, good night, Luann, and thanks for a wonderful dinner.
Yeah, Luann, it was delicious.
Goodbye, Monroe. And it was nice to see you again after all this time. You be sure and say hello to everybody back home now.
Well, you don't have to say goodbye just yet. I'm going to be in town a couple more days.
You are?
Yeah, that's right. And I got to thinking, since he's going to be here for such a quick visit, wouldn't it be nice if the two of you could catch dinner and a show tomorrow night?
Daddy.
Oh, for old time's sake. There's a good double bill showing at the theater right down the street.
Oh, no.
What?
I mean, well, that's the Bijou, and Luann and me have already seen that picture. But Thunder in the West, it's playing over at the Bay City, and Luann hadn't seen that.
But, Gomer, well, we have a date for tomorrow night.
Oh, well, you and Monroe are old friends, and it's only right you spend an evening together.
Well, I think that's downright friendly. Don't you, Luann?
Yes.
Well, fine then. I'll pick you up about 7, okay?
Well, since I'm suddenly so available, why not?
Hey, you two.
Well, hey, Gomer. Were you waiting here for us?
No, I just came in to get her soda.
Oh.
How did you like the movie?
Oh, we enjoyed it real fine. Didn't we, Luann?
Well, that's nice. I heard it was a good picture.
Gomer, isn't there something more you want to say?
No, that's all I heard, that it was good. Well, I guess I better be getting back. My soda's getting flat.
Don't you want to join us?
Oh, no. I don't want to disturb you. Well, hearty appetite.
Monroe, on second thought, I'm really not very hungry at all. Why don't we go someplace and dance like we used to back home?
Hey, you got yourself a deal, honey. We always were partial to soft lights and sweet music, weren't we? Come on, let's not waste a minute.
No, let's not.
Hello? Luann? It's me.
Well, hello, Gomer.
I was just calling about tonight. I wanted to know what time you'd like me to pick you up.
Tonight? Well, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I won't be able to make it.
But we had a date to go bowling. Has something else come up?
As a matter of fact, something has. I'm right in the middle of packing.
Packing?
Yes, I'm going back to Turtle Creek tonight with Daddy and Monroe.
You mean for a visit?
No, I'm going home to stay.
Stay? Well, golly, Luann. Well, ain't this kind of sudden? I mean, just picking up and leaving without so much as...
If you'll excuse me, I've got a million things to do. Goodbye, and thanks for everything. It's been nice knowing you, Gomer.
No, Luann. It's all for the best. You know that. I hated to do it to you this way, but I knew from the first time I set eyes on him he was nothing but a mouse. I just had to prove it to you. You saw how he was. Wasn't even man enough to put up a fight for you. It's a good thing you found out about it right now.
Hey, Mr. Povey. I came to see Luann.
Oh?
Luann, can I talk to you a minute? Alone? Luann, can I ask you just one question? Why?
I have nothing to keep me here any longer. Or nobody. At least, nobody who cares.
Golly, Luann, I care.
Oh?
My heart just sank when you said you was going back home.
Well, then why didn't you say something? Well, do something.
Well, I thought maybe you was beginning to feel for Monroe like you once did, and maybe you'd like to go back to that nice life you had back home, having lots of friends and going to the country club. I could never give you anything like that.
Did I ever say I wanted that kind of life? Or did I ever say that I had any feelings for Monroe? Which I don't.
Well, then, for goodness sakes, why are you going?
'Cause I haven't heard you say, don't go.
Don't go.
Say it again.
Don't go, please.
That's all I wanted to hear. I'll go tell Daddy.
Wait a minute, Luann. If I'm the reason that you're going to be staying, then I expect I ought to be the one that ought to tell him.
All right.
Mr. Povey? Mr. Povey, sir?
Yeah, boy?
Mr. Povey, sir? Luann's not going home with you. She's going to stay here.
Who says?
She says, and, well, I'd like her to.
You?
Yes, sir, me. Mr. Povey, I hadn't had a chance to tell you how I feel about your daughter. Well, maybe Luann don't even know how I feel about her. So now's as good a time as any to tell you that as long as she stays here, I'm going to see that I provide her with the best kind of company. Maybe I can't take her to a country club dance in a fancy car. Best I can probably do is a movie and dinner at the Bluebird Cafe. But we really enjoy being with each other. And, well, all I can tell you is that you don't have to worry, because as long as I'm around, she'll be well protected. Well, doggone it, Mr. Povey, what I'm trying to say is that I love your daughter.
Oh, well, what did you say?
I said I loved his daughter.
Well, we all ready to leave? I got a cab waiting.
Monroe, I'm beginning to think you just lost the ball by a fumble.
Why?
I don't think Luann's going home with us.
What is this, some kind of joke? Come on, Luann.
I don't think you heard Mr. Povey, Monroe. Luann's staying here.
Huh? Well, but I thought...
Never mind, just get my suitcase, will you, son? Bye, honey. Bye, son. We should have talked up sooner. Could have saved Monroe here a trip.
What's this all about, JR? You still having
Come on, just get my suitcase. It's a long story. I'll tell you about it on the way to the
What's
airport.
going on around here? I thought this all over again.
I'll take your bag back to your room for you. Wow, Luann, you wasn't even planning to go. Hey, Luann.
Hey, Gomer.
These are for you.
More flowers. Gomer, pyle, you're gonna spoil me. I'll go put these in some water, and then I'll be right back.
No rush. We got plenty of time.
Oh, my goodness, Gomer. What happened?
I was trying to lift up the chair like Monroe did.
Gomer, you don't have to prove anything to me. I like you 'cause you're you. I wouldn't have you any other way.
I'm glad of that. Are you sure now, Luann?
Well, of course. I like you just the way you are.
Oh, well, fine. You don't know how good it makes me feel when you say things like that.
USMC. Starring Jim Neighbors as Gomer Pyle. Also starring Frank Sutton as Sergeant Carter.
Lovely, isn't it?
Sure is. $70, huh?
Yes. And that includes the tax.
Well, okay. But I'll have to come back for it. I don't have all the money with me right now.
All right.
Don't worry, I won't be long.
$70? That's a pretty expensive present.
Look, I've known Bunny a lot of years. I can't be chintzy on her birthday. Besides, I got a lot of class, Boyle, and a lot of pride.
And no money.
Don't worry, I'll get it.
Easier said than done.
As long as I got buddies, I can always borrow. All I gotta do is... Hey, here comes Haskell. I bet you'll come up with what I need. Hiya, Haskell, old buddy.
Not a penny, Vince, not a penny.
Who needs him? I got lots of friends on this base, Boyle, lots of friends. What kind of friend are you? Look, Slatnik, last month when you needed $20, I gave it to you just like that. No questions asked, no strings attached. I gave it to you out of the goodness of my heart. And now when I... Huh? Same to you, fella.
Look, if you're so desperate for money, why don't you dig into your savings account?
What savings account?
You mean to tell me that after all these years, you don't have something put away?
Yeah, I got a lot of expenses, Boyle. Like taking care of my mother, paying off a mortgage. Just last month, I bought her a new septic tank. Yeah, Pyle, what do you want?
Excuse me, Sergeant. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you assigned me to extra cleaning duty, remember?
Oh, okay, get on it. Hey, we still haven't tried Hacker.
Hacker? You're kidding.
Give me Sergeant Hacker. He's in the mess hall. I know we don't get along, but I can handle him. All it takes is a little smooth talk. Charlie? Vince? How things down at the mess hall, buddy? Hello?
Strike three and you're out.
This watch is something I gotta get for Bunny. It's the perfect birthday present.
Excuse me, Sergeant. Did you say it was Miss Bunny's birthday?
Yeah, today.
Well, ain't that nice? Be sure and wish her many happy returns of the day for me.
Yeah.
Look, Sarge, if you don't have the money to buy her a watch, why don't you give her some flowers or something? It's really the thought that counts.
No, Boyle. With me, it's first class or nothing.
Sergeant Carter?
Pyle, I thought you were supposed to be cleaning up.
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but I couldn't help overhearing you. Did you say you don't have any money to buy Miss Bunny a birthday present?
Yeah, but it doesn't concern you.
Well, I can lend you what you need.
Pyle, what's the matter with you? You've been in the Marine Corps long enough to know that a non-com can't borrow money from anybody of a lower rank. I could be court-martialed.
That's right, I forgot. It's a shame, though, because I got some money I could lend you.
Yeah, well, forget it.
I could go over right now and get it out of my savings.
I said forget it.
Yes, sir. I've even got some cash on me this minute. It ain't much, but it might help out.
Pyle.
I know it's against regulations. Sergeant, what if I was to accidentally leave the money on your desk and you was to accidentally find it?
Pyle, stop it!
Yes, sir.
How much money are you talking about? No, forget it.
Well, I guess you just have to forget about the watch.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, I can understand what happens when you pick up a paper and read about one of them crimes of passion. A guy can get so desperate for something that all of a sudden something in his brain snaps and pow! You can't get what you want one way, so you try another. You know what you're doing is wrong, but you do it anyway.
Oh.
Why, you're supposed to be working.
Terrible.
Oh, hello, Sergeant.
Hi. I'm back, just like I said.
Good.
I'm afraid I wasn't able to come up with the whole $70.
Oh, that's all right. You can purchase this on our layaway plan. $14 down, got 6 months to pay off the balance.
Well, I got a counteroffer. How about nothing down?
Come on now, Sergeant.
Just until payday, and then I'll give you the whole thing. No 6 months to pay.
Well, we have to have some sort of down payment as a binder. Even $1 would do it.
You mean for $1 down, I can take it with me?
Well, no, but we'd put it aside for you.
But I gotta have it tonight. I'll pay you the whole thing in a few days. Come on. It's my girlfriend's birthday.
Well,
Please?
well, it's highly irregular, Sergeant, and I shouldn't be doing this.
Ah, you're a peach. That's $1, huh?
Uh-huh.
Can you lend me 7 cents?
Sergeant, if you'll just sign this payment receipt and fill in your outfit and commanding officer's name.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I gift wrap this for you?
Huh? Oh, no, no. I'll take it just like it is. I'm gonna give it to my girlfriend during dinner tonight. I'm gonna hide it in her salad. Romantic-like.
That sounds very nice.
I mean, you did say that's a stainless steel case, didn't you? Roquefort dressing won't corrode it or anything.
Oh, no. No, I think it'll be just fine.
No, fine ain't the word for it. It's gonna be beautiful, just beautiful. And thanks a million.
Uh-huh.
Company B, Sergeant Carter. Oh, yes, sir, mate. The supply requisitions? Yes, sir. I'll bring them right over.
Sorry, Sergeant, but I gotta do this for your own good.
Thank you.
Company B, Sergeant Carter.
Sergeant Carter, this is Miss Johnson down at the PX. I sold you a watch this morning.
Oh, yes, ma'am. What can I do for you?
Well, apparently you were so excited about your girl's birthday, you walked away without your watch.
Huh? I did what?
That's right, Sergeant. You must have left it on the counter.
But that can't be. Are you sure? Are you sure it's a little square one with a gold band?
Uh-huh, and the inset diamonds. I'm sure it's your watch, Sergeant. It's the only one we have like it.
Just a minute. Wait just a minute. Miss Johnson, that's my watch, all right.
Well, don't worry about it, Sergeant. I'll hold it for you.
Yes, ma'am. You do that. I'll be right down.
He's done it again.
Good morning, Private. May I help you?
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I was just looking. Thank you anyways. Sergeant Carter. Corporal Ball.
Company B, Sergeant Carter. Oh, hi, Bunny. What? Well, like I said, 7 o'clock. Is that okay? No hints. You're gonna have to wait till dinner to find out. And tonight we're gonna celebrate in style. We ain't gonna drink no birthday toast with just beer. Tonight we're going all the way. A bottle of Muscatel. Okay. See you later, baby doll. Bye. Bunny's just dying to know what the present is. Wait till you see it, Boyle. It'll knock your eyes out. It's got real diamonds on the face. Okay, Boyle, what is this? Some kind of gag or something?
What are you talking about? I just came in, remember?
Oh, yeah. Boy, if this don't beat everything, it's gone. Just like that, just like it had legs. Company B, Sergeant Carter.
Hello, Sergeant. You did it again. Your watch. I found it right where you left it.
But that's impossible. Are you sure? Maybe some new ones came in when you were out.
Look, Sergeant, I don't know if you're playing games with me, but this is definitely the watch I sold you. We won't have another one in like it for a month.
Well, how about that?
Then I take it you do want the watch after all.
Oh, yeah. You kidding? I'll be right down. And this time I'll guard it with my life. Bye. Boyle, look at me. Do I look normal to you? Not just my face, but the way I've been acting, the way I've been talking?
What's going on, Sarge?
Oh, I'll tell you later. Right now I'm going to get the watch. I'll be right back.
Company B, Corporal Boyle. Oh, yes, sir, he's here. It's a chaplain. He wants to talk to you.
The chaplain? I wonder what he wants. Yes, sir, Chaplain. This is Sergeant Carter.
Sergeant Carter, how are you? Well, good. Look, I wonder if you could do me a rather big favor.
Well, sure, Chaplain, if I can. Of course, you understand I spend most of my Sundays off the base.
You can relax, Sergeant. For once, it has nothing to do with trying to get you to attend one of my services.
Oh.
Actually, I'd like to see you in my office right away, if you can arrange it. Something's come up, and I'd like to talk to you about it.
Yes, sir. Say in about 5 minutes, sir? Fine, sir. See you then.
What does he want?
Who knows? One of our ugly ducklings got himself a little problem, I guess, and the chaplain just wants to see the mother hen.
You want me to pick up that watch for you?
Oh, no. As soon as I'm through with the chaplain, I'll get it myself.
Hey, Sarge, maybe while you're with the chaplain, he can take the curse off the watch.
You're sure now that you saw him taking it?
I'm just sick about Sergeant Carter carrying on like this.
You're absolutely certain now. You're sure that it wasn't someone else who took the watch?
Oh, no, sir. It was him, all right. I seen him just as clear as day both times. And each time I seen him, all I could say was, holy cow. I mean, just plain cow, sir.
Still, it's hard to believe that he'd actually stoop to... Well, you and I know that Sergeant Carter is no thief.
Of course he ain't. Something must be driving him. I heard him say how desperate he was.
Well, I have no reason to doubt you, Gomer. I've never known you to lie.
And I sure never would when it comes to Sergeant Carter. I only want to help him.
Very well. Just leave it to me.
Sir, if you don't mind a suggestion, a little inspiration from the good book always goes a long way in cases like this.
Thank you.
You might try chapter 5 of Matthew, verse 13. You are the salt of the earth. But if salt loses its strength, how can it be made salt again?
Yes, well, thanks for the suggestion.
Or maybe chapter 6 of Matthew. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is sound, then your whole body will be light. But if your eye is unsound, then your body will be dark.
Yes. Well, I know that one also.
And that sure ought to ring a bell with Sergeant Carter, seeing as how he got in this whole mess when his eye fell on that watch.
Thank you. Well, I think you can rest assured that I'll find the right words when the time comes.
Another real good one is Luke chapter 8, verse 17. Nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
Yes.
Or John chapter 8, verse 32. The truth shall make you free.
Thank you.
You know what would really be good? Revelation 6.
Now, as you're well aware, man is an imperfect animal. And because he's imperfect, he must be constantly on guard against being tempted down the wrong path. Do you understand what I'm getting at, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Under certain stress and tension, we're apt to do things which normally we'd never do at all. Of course, that doesn't mean we're beyond redemption.
Oh, of course not, sir.
A person who is basically good can be sure that the people around him, the people who admire and respect him, will forgive and forget.
You mean you want to make a withdrawal?
Yes, ma'am.
Private Gomer Pyle. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to be prying, but what is this for?
Ma'am?
Well, you know, we hate to have any of our boys withdraw a single dime unless they have a very good reason. You know what they say about a penny saved.
Yes, ma'am, I know, but this is important. I need it for a friend who's in real trouble.
I see. Well, that's very loyal. However, I do feel that it's my duty to tell you that you're going to lose a whole lot of interest.
Please, ma'am, I'm in a real big rush.
It's certainly your decision. 20, 40, 60, 70. Are you sure you wouldn't like to discuss this matter with Mr. Glick, our branch manager?
As the good book says, you are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its strength, how can it be made salt again?
Well, I see you're back again.
Yes, ma'am, and I know just what I want.
Well, good.
That lady's watch right there. The square one with the little diamonds in it.
Oh, yes, that's a lovely watch. You're going to make somebody very happy with this.
Well, I sure hope so. And here's your $70, ma'am. You don't even have to wrap it. I'll take it just like it is. And thank you, ma'am.
Or Luke, chapter 8. Nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
You're right, sir.
You do see the wisdom.
Oh, sure. It's as clear as a bell. Is that all, sir?
Yes, I think so. Well, I'm certainly glad we didn't have to get into the specifics of this little matter.
Oh, me too, sir.
Thank you for coming by, Sergeant.
Oh, well, it was all my pleasure, sir. And thank you for calling me. What was that all about?
Yes, Sergeant, may I help you?
Well, I'm not sure. Is Miss Johnson here?
No, I'm sorry. She went to lunch.
Oh. Well, she must have put it aside for me.
Put what aside?
A watch for a Sergeant Carter? That's me. I bought it this morning.
No, I don't think so. At least Miss Johnson didn't mention it to me.
But she called me. She distinctly said it was here. I left it on the counter.
I'm sorry. I know there's nothing in the back. Unless maybe it's in the case here.
No, never mind. Never mind. Just forget it. Forget it. I know she called me. It was the second time she called me. I brought the watch back here and I put it in the drawer. Then the major calls me, so I went over to the major's office.
Besides,
I came back here, and Miss Johnson called. She
something
said
wrong?
Oh, never mind. Just tell me where the aspirin.
In your top drawer, I think.
Okay, now leave me in peace. Just leave me in peace. What is this?
A watch.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm not just seeing things. It does have two little hands and goes tick-tock, tick-tock. How about feet? Maybe it has teeny little feet, too, so it can keep finding its way back from the PX.
Company B, Corporal Boyle. Oh, yes, ma'am. Just a second, please. It's Miss Johnson again over at the PX. 10 to 1, she's calling. I tell you that you called before by mistake. It was someone else's watch all the time.
I'd sure like to think so. This is Sergeant Carter speaking.
Oh, Sergeant, I'm so sorry about what happened.
Oh, yeah? Well, we all make mistakes.
Well, it was all my fault.
Oh, well, you don't have to apologize.
Well, you see, when I went to lunch, I forgot completely about putting your watch aside for you.
My watch?
Yes. I just found out that Mrs. Healy, she's our other sales clerk, sold it to someone else while I was gone. Well, you can't imagine how badly I felt when I came back and she told me that a Sergeant Carter was in asking about his watch.
My watch? She sold my watch to somebody else?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sergeant. You just don't know how I feel, especially since there's no possible way of getting it back. Naturally, we'll return your deposit.
Miss Johnson, listen to me. Stay right where you are. I'll be right there.
Now what?
I'm going over to the PX and get this whole thing straightened out before somebody comes here and throws a net over. Not now, Pyle, not now.
Where's Sergeant Carter going in such a hurry?
To the PX.
The PX with the watch?
Yeah. What do you know about it?
Well, he don't have to. Sergeant Carter! Sergeant Carter?
Pyle, what do you want?
Well, Sergeant, I wasn't going to say anything, but now I guess I'm going to have to. You don't have to return that watch.
Huh?
I'm glad you was going to. Am I ever glad? But you don't have to return it now on account it's paid for.
What are you talking about?
It's paid for and my heart is light, and that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, no, it ain't. You're going to say a lot more, Pyle. A lot more.
Please don't make me say any more, Sergeant.
You won't have to. Maybe the lady can tell me. Ma'am, have you ever seen this guy before?
That's him. That's the one I sold the watch to.
I knew it. I knew it had to be something crazy. Why, Pyle? Why? Why did you come in here and buy this watch, huh?
Well, Sergeant, I really don't know how to say this.
Pyle!
Well, I knew how desperate you was, and I just didn't want to see you get into any trouble.
Huh?
That's right. I just couldn't stand idly by and watch you. I just couldn't stand idly by and watch you steal it.
What?
The watch, Sergeant. You didn't see me, but this morning, I saw you when you put it in your pocket. And, well, that's the reason that I took it out of your drawer and I snuck it back on the counter like this.
Pyle. Pyle.
I know, Sergeant. I know what you're going to say. I had no right spying on you like that. But, well, I did it for your own sake. I really did. I knew you'd thank me for it later. You know, it's like it says in the good book. You are the salt of the earth. That's Matthew chapter 5.
Salt of the earth. The chaplain. You're the one that had the chaplain call me?
Well, I didn't have anybody else I could turn to, Sergeant. You're not angry with me, are you?
Pyle, you knucklehead. I didn't steal that watch. I bought it. You hear? I bought it.
You did? Well, glory be. Now my heart's lighter than ever. Why, Sergeant, I should have known that you never would have done anything like that. Ladies, I just can't tell you how happy I feel right this minute, because you know who just walked out that door? The salt of the earth. I don't know why I could ever think you would.
Where's the watch?
I'm really sorry, Sergeant. I should have known you never would take anything that didn't belong to you.
Pyle, from now on, do me a favor, will you? Don't do me any more favors.
I don't blame you for being mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just a little surprised at you. Would I ever steal anything, Pyle? Would I? Well, anyway, forget it. All I want to do right now is get this watch over to Bunny's before anything else happens.
Are you sure you got it now?
Oh, don't worry. I got it. There.
Where did you get 2 watches?
I don't know. I must have picked this one up when I went back for Bunny's. I'd better get it back right away. Don't tell the chaplain. Whatever you do, don't tell the chaplain.
Johnson. Heckler. Pyle. Pyle. Waxman. Pyle. 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 Origio. Pyle. Pyle. Pretty Pink Petunia Company?
Must be those flower seeds I sent away for. They send you a free sample along with a booklet on petunia raising for fun and profit.
Gosh, can I read it when you're through?
I know you're just kidding, Joey, but it's just plain wonderful what you can get for free by just sending it away for it.
Well, the postcard's mine and all the rest are Pyle's.
Cure your cold by hypnotism. ABCs of kelp farming. Plywood and yew. Freighter cruises to the Antarctic. Dental technology for beginners. Migrate now to Paraguay.
Some of the companies send you free samples of the things they got coming out. Like this here shaving cream. It's brown instead of white, and it leaves your face suntanned after you finish shaving. Would you like to try it?
Got a guy around here named Pyle.
Over there.
Your name Pyle? Gomer Pyle?
Yes, sir.
Sign here, delivery.
A delivery?
Just sign it, will you? I gotta get my truck out of here.
Don't tell me you've got a whole truckload of petunia seeds.
What are you delivering?
See for yourself.
Hey, go here, This is yours?
Well, it can't be. Well, I just don't understand. Sir, I'm afraid there's been a mix-up.
Your name's Gomer Pyle, ain't it?
Well, yes, sir, but, well, who? How? What?
It's one of the prizes from the Frost Flip Bottling Company. You entered the contest, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I think so.
So you won. Happy sailing.
How about that, Pyle? Your own boat. It's a beauty.
You gonna give us a ride, Go?
Oh.
Maybe we can put it in the parking lot. Come on, you guys.
Not now. We have to get over to the rifle range. We'll move it after we get back. Okay, come on. Let's go.
A boat.
Those clowns get over to the rifle range?
Yeah, about an hour ago.
When they get back, send them to sick bay for their booster shots. A boat? On a Marine base?
Anything wrong?
For a minute, I thought I saw a boat out there.
A boat? You're kidding.
I know it was an hallucination, but it looked so real. Maybe I ought to go to the doctors, too.
Left. Detail. Right. Hey. Dismiss. All right, let's get over to the parking lot. Let's go. All right, everybody, heave ho.
You know, I have been pushing pretty hard. Could be I need a nice long rest.
You look okay to me, Sarge. Maybe you could use a little more sleep, but outside of that...
Here it is again, Boyle. I'm really seeing things.
You're not seeing things, Sarge. There is a boat out there.
All right, what's going on here?
We're just taking this boat to the parking lot.
Where did it come from? Whose is it?
It's mine, Sergeant. I think.
Yours? This belongs to you?
Yes, sir. I won it in a contest.
How about that, Sarge?
Isn't it a handsome one?
All right, knock it off. You clowns clear out of here. Boyle, get them over for their booster shot.
All in.
All except you, Pyle.
You want to see me, Sergeant?
Yeah, in the office. I want to hear the whole story about this boat. I never heard anything so stupid in all my life. A boat on a Marine base. All right, now let's hear it. Nice and slow.
Well, this Frost Flip Soda Pop Company had this contest to write a jingle, so I sent one in.
A jingle? What kind of jingle?
Well, as I remembered, it went something like this. Here's the tip. Take a nip of Frost Flip. It's got flavor galore and much, much, much more. With vip and zip in each sip.
Zip and vip.
With vip and zip in each sip.
For that, you want a boat?
Believe me, Sergeant, I'm just as surprised as you are. But you don't have to worry about a thing. It won't get in anybody's way because I've decided to send it back to the company.
You're gonna send it back?
Well, I hope they won't think I'm too ungrateful, but I've come to realize that a boat would be just too much for me, what with the expenses and all, so it's best I send it back.
And end up with nothing?
Oh, just the joy of winning is reward enough for me, Sergeant.
Pyle, come with me. Have you ever thought how much fun you could have on a boat?
Yeah, I guess it could be fun.
You bet it could. Look, Pyle, you might be right. This may be too much for you to swing all by yourself. But now if you had a partner, then it wouldn't be no sweat at all.
A partner?
Well, sure. I might even go in with you.
You would?
Sure. I'll take care of all the expenses. I mean, what could that be? Gas and oil? I pay the whole freight. You don't have to do anything except supply the boat. What do you say?
Golly, Sergeant. That sounds just perfect. Why, I'd be honored to be partners with you on anything.
Then it's a deal. We're partners. Now, we can even use my car to tow it down to the ocean. Come on.
Well, it's just one thing that worries me, Sergeant. It sounds like I'm getting the best part of the deal. Are you sure this is being fair to you?
Don't worry, Pyle. It's gonna be all right for me. Yes, sir. It's gonna be plenty all right for me. Come on, Pyle. Let's hook that boat on my car.
Guess that does it, Sergeant.
Okay, let's put the show on the road. Hop in. It's a beautiful day to break in a boat. All set, Pyle?
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
This is gonna be the start of something wonderful. Anchors away!
Sergeant.
Pull the bumper right up the car.
That's just the reason I was afraid of owning it. Right away, there's an expense. You're probably gonna need a new bumper.
Guess it wasn't on too good.
This is a terrible way for us to begin our partnership, Sergeant.
Forget it, Pyle. So I'll just get myself a new bumper.
Golly, that's really gonna cost.
Well, how much can it be? My department. Don't worry about it. Besides, it's nothing when you realize I'm getting a new boat out of the deal. Come on, there's a garage a half mile from here. The guy can put on a new bumper in no time at all.
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Afternoon, sir.
May I see your driver's license, please?
Yes, sir.
Is the car registered in your name?
Yes, sir. What's the trouble?
Well, when pulling a trailer, your car has to have an extended rearview mirror.
An extended rearview mirror?
I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, well, these things happen the first time out, so I'll pay the fine. You give tickets in duplicate?
No, this ticket is because you don't have a safety chain on your hitch.
Well, at least we didn't get one for speeding. The limit's 65, and I was only going 60. We are getting one for speeding?
Pulling a trailer, the limit's 50. Well, it could be worse. If it was night, you'd get another one for not having side lights.
See, Sergeant, there's a good side to everything.
Would you sign right here, please?
This is going to cost me a fortune.
Well, you should have checked the rules before you took to the road. And here. And one more. And here you are. And 1, 2, 3. You better get those things taken care of right away.
First the bumper, now this, Sergeant. Golly, I'd already be busted if it wasn't for you. Boat owning sure a lot easier when you got a partner. Partner.
fellow mariners. In a couple of minutes, we'll be out there with them. It's going to be great. What's the matter?
I was just thinking about our partnership, Sergeant. What with the bumper and the tickets and everything, it's really beginning to add up.
Forget it, Pyle. Having the boat is more than worth it. So there are a couple of little expenses. I'm a partner. I got to lay out something.
I suppose so.
All we got to do now is gas her up and slide her into the water. Come on.
Hey, Sergeant, look. Boat license is sold here. Do we need a license?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we better go inside and find out.
Yeah. Ahoy there.
Aye.
That boat we got out there, do we need a license for that?
For all boats, fill this out. Good for 3 years.
I'll do it, Sergeant. And I insist on paying half the license.
That license for 3 years, how much is it?
$5.
That's $2 and a half for me.
Hold it, hold it. It's my pleasure. I said I would pay all expenses, and when Vince Carter makes a deal, it's a deal. Not a penny from you. His money's no good here, understand?
Yeah.
Okay, Sergeant.
All right, let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go.
How long would you say that boat of ours is, Sergeant?
You'll find all that in the old license from the guy you bought it from.
But there is no old license. It's a brand new boat.
New boat? That's right. This ain't no second-hand tub we're talking about. It's factory fresh, first time in the water.
First time in the water. Here's your license sticker. Let me finish that for you. Where's your boat?
It's right out there, the one on the trailer.
Oh, it's a beautiful boat, 20-footer. Don't put that away yet.
Huh?
Well, it's a new boat. You'll be needing things.
Oh, look, buddy, we don't want none of them flags and junk. We don't need anything.
Oh, so you've got your life preservers, hmm?
Life preservers? Well, no, but we're both good swimmers and...
It's the law. Life preserver for every passenger.
Makes good sense. Safety first.
How much are they?
$10 a piece. 6 for 50. Most people buy them that way.
$50?
Yeah, well, we just want 2. That's for the 2 of us.
Right. Why should you get something you don't need? Since you won't be taking out any girls, 2's plenty.
Girls? Just a minute. Make that a dozen.
Dozen life preservers.
$100.
Don't put it away.
Huh?
Now, the law requires a couple of other things. A compass and a bailing pump. I'll let you have that for $17. To put a 20-footer in the water...
And I'm giving you guys a chance to get in on a real good deal. As all you guys know, Pyle has got this here boat, and I offered the use of my car to pull it around. Well, it just don't seem fair for us to hog the whole thing to ourselves, so we decided to let the whole platoon in on our good fortune. Now, as many of you guys that are interested in sharing in the fun and whatever incidental expenses there may be, just sign right here and we're in business.
Hey, sounds good. These expenses, Sergeant, what are they?
Oh, well, like, there's the license. That's $5 for 3 years. Say we got 10 guys, that's 50 cents apiece for 3 years. All right, step right up, one at a time now. Don't cry.
Eddie's. This your boat, Sergeant?
Yes, sir, but it's just here temporary, sir.
Nice-looking job, very trim.
Thank you, sir.
But it's blocking the roadway. Better move it.
Aye, aye, sir. Get the signatures. I'll be right back.
Well, that certainly sounds good. 50 cents for 3 years. Give me that pen, Pyle.
Well, there's the other things, too.
What other things?
Well, there's the life preservers and the compass and the bailing pump. Sergeant didn't have time to name them all.
Well, how much is all?
Well, it's about $200 to start off with. And then there's $5 every time it goes into the water, or $40 a month for dock space. And then there's the insurance. And if we want a bait tank, then we have to buy one of those for fishing.
Great bunch of guys. I bet it was unanimous, huh?
It sure was, Sergeant.
Give me that. This is what we should have done right from the beginning. What? Where's...
Well, none of them wanted in, not one.
Impossible. What's wrong with them guys?
Sergeant, why don't we sell the boat?
No. We're still gonna swing it ourselves, even without them clowns. And when they see what great fun we're having, they're gonna come crawling. Now, let's see. I got just enough to handle the insurance and the dock.
I still think we ought to sell it, and that way I could pay you back everything, and then we wouldn't have any more problems.
Look, if somebody came along and offered us a big fat profit for it, sure we'd sell it. Then we could buy another one and come out ahead.
Another boat?
That's right. But until that happens, we're holding on to this one. There can't be any more problems. We got everything the law requires. What else can there be?
You mean Pyle is going to have to pay an income tax on that boat?
That's right. One of my main duties with the tax department is assisting contest winners. Most people don't realize that prizes are treated as ordinary income.
Yeah, I guess not.
The amount of the tax will depend, of course, on the value of the boat. So if you'll ask him to fill in.
Hi, Sarge. Pyle?
Pyle?
This is Mr. Markham. He wants to talk to Pyle about the boat.
Oh?
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to find out what you think the boat is worth. I'm sure that we can agree on something reasonable.
Golly, I don't know. I imagine it's worth...
Why? Are you interested in buying it, buddy?
Well, fact is...
Because if you are, the price is $7,000.
That much, Sergeant? Well, I wouldn't even think it's worth half that.
Pyle's right, Sarge. It's not worth anywhere...
What do you guys know? I'm telling you, buddy, $7 grand. Maybe more.
That does seem high. Are you quite sure?
Look, I'm a partner. Don't you think I know what I own?
Partner? You mean part owner?
Yeah, him and me, 50-50. And if you're interested in buying it, the price is $7,000, not a penny less.
Oh, I'm not interested in buying it. I'm from the Internal Revenue Service.
Internal Revenue Service?
Yes, you'll pay a tax based on the value of the boat, which now appears to be considerably more than I'd estimated. But there's a bright side. You won't have to pay all the tax, since the sergeant here has informed me that he is co-owner. Then you'll pay tax on half the boat.
Pay tax on half the boat. Excuse me. What's all this?
Oh, hey, Sergeant. I thought we agreed that the only way to pay the taxes and to get your money back is to sell the boat.
But just putting a sign on it won't sell it.
It won't?
Never. You gotta use salesmanship, the personal approach. Give me Sergeant Dubensky at the commissary. Dubensky's perfect. He's got all kinds of money, and I can sell anything to that meathead. Hello, Gus. Vince. Yeah, how's the family? Good, good. Great bunch of kids. You know, I was just thinking, with a family like that, what could be better for you all to enjoy during their growing years than a boat? Now, it just so happens that... Huh? Yeah, a boat. What's so funny about that? Look, it's a great buy, brand new. Gus, will you stop laughing? Gus!
Does he want to buy it?
The guy's got no class. Who needs him anyway? Get me Sergeant Hackett, Company C. The line's busy? Well, I'll wait. I should have called him in the first place. He'll take it just like that. Hello, Charlie. Vince. Say I was... What are you laughing at? Dubensky just phoned you about the boat. All right. Forget it.
Sergeant, maybe I better go over there and put our phone number on that for sale sign. That way people will be calling us.
Pyle, will you forget about that sign? It don't mean a thing. Believe me, the only thing that counts is personal hustle.
Eddie, how about that boat, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. We're gonna move it, Lieutenant. We'll have it out of there right away.
Well, why? Have you sold it?
Well, no, sir, not yet.
Oh, good. I saw the for sale sign on it, and I'm interested. If the price is reasonable, I'd like to buy it.
Did you hear that, Sergeant? The lieutenant seen the sign. Sergeant. We've delivered the boat where the lieutenant wanted it. Now we can cash this check and get you your money back. What's the matter?
Sure is a pretty thing, ain't it?
Yeah, she's real sweet looking.
And we never got out of it.
No, we never did.
Well, it just ain't right. We're entitled to at least one ride on it after all we've been through. One ride anyway.
The boat belongs to the lieutenant now.
You haven't cashed the check yet. I just gotta get on that baby once. Come on, get in the boat. Cast off the line, Pyle. Listen to that. Purrs like a kitten.
Yeah, it sounds real nice.
This is gonna be our first and last trip, but we're gonna make it a great one. I'll take it out to sea and we'll really give it a ride. Oh, you might as well get rid of that sign now.
But, Sergeant...
Just pull it up. We don't need it anymore.
Sergeant?
Not now, Pyle.
But, Sergeant...
Pyle, you never talk to the captain when you're casting off. Okay, we're pushing off. Oh, sailing, sailing over the bounding main.
But, Sergeant...
Where did all this water come from?
It's coming from over here.
Pyle, you stupid!
Well, it never would have happened if I'd had a claw hammer. Boy, that thing was really nailed in there.
Pyle, will you shut up and get the pump? Get the bailing pump! Here. Hold that.
Boy, that fella at the store was right about one thing. We really did need this pump.
Yeah.
Mikey's right about something else. I think we're going to need those life preservers. Hey, Sergeant. I've got some good news for a change.
Oh?
I just talked to Mr. Markham on the phone, you know, the man from the Internal Revenue, and he said since the boat sank, it's considered a casualty loss, so there's no tax owed on it.
Well, that's something anyway.
I still feel real bad about you having to spend all that money on traffic tickets and safety supplies.
What can I do, Pyle? I gambled and I lost.
Well, one good thing came out of this, Sergeant. I've learned my lesson. I ain't gonna never enter another contest. Just like this application I got in the mail. You know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna throw it right here in this wastebasket. I don't care if they are giving away a brand new convertible. I just ain't interested.
A brand new convertible?
The White on White Soap Company for the best last line to their jingle.
Let's see that. The soap for you is white on white. White. What rhymes with white?
But, Sergeant...
Fight, light, bright. Well, don't just stand there, Pyle. Think of some words. Sight, white.
Night, night.
Trite, white.
Sight.